Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Chief Pat, and today we're going to be hopping into 3 epic matches that I had against Smurf, and they all happened within the span of 10 minutes. I literally just queued for battle, I found them 3 times in a row, and each one ended up actually being pretty unique, and it turned out to be a little bit of a best of 3. So let's go ahead and check out what happens. This is battle number 1, fighting off against Smurf. Looks like he has a level 7 golem. That's going to be a little bit of a pain to deal with, as well as his commons are level 12. You can see his spear goblins are level 12, his archers are level 12, so he has a little bit of a level advantage on top of me, even though he is a level 11, as well as his mini P.E.K.K.A is level 10. So it looks like everything is maxed out except for his epics. Now, I don't have a counter to that mini P.E.K.K.A, unfortunately. I dropped way too many cards down the left-hand side, so that mini P.E.K.K.A is going to smack my tower down from 100 to 0. And this battle started off extremely badly. I still have 900 damage left on that tower on the top right. I will end up lightning that wizard right there, so it looks like we're just going to go ahead and reset, and at this point, I definitely am at a little bit of a disadvantage. Okay, so it looks like the tombstone's going down the right-hand side, not really going to worry about that. Definitely going to want to follow up these barbarians any way I can, and let's go ahead and see what the next play is as I fill up on elixir. Okay, so another barbarian hut's going down. That's going to force him to play something on the left-hand side. Looks like he's going to follow up with a lightning, which means the next time my barbarians spawn, I can definitely make a counter push down the left-hand side. So let's just go ahead and see what happens as I save up my elixir. He's going to drop a couple of archers, and now it's my time to shine, as it's 8 elixir left that I had inside of my, I guess, what do I even call it? 8 elixir left inside of my pumps or something like that? I don't even know what to call it. Anyways, pushing down the left-hand side, I'm finally going in with one of those barbarians. Mini P.E.K.K.A will one-shot my wizard in the face, which was actually pretty well played by him. And at this point, only a minute left, but I have both of his towers pretty low. It's less than 1,000 HP on both. I can definitely try to lightning both of those, but he drops another Inferno tower, which is super effective against most of my cards. So my barbarian's going in, trying to stop that golem. Looks like he's still going to crawl his way to that tombstone right there. Barbarians will eventually be able to take those out. I am going to go ahead and lightning that tombstone right there. Wizard and the spear goblins right there are doing mad work onto most of my troops, and at this point only 330 health left on that right hand tower. So my Hog Rider is going to go ahead and go down, take one swing, and take that tower out. Looks like I actually have a little bit of an advantage now. He has 1,276 health left on that bottom left-hand tower. I'm going to drop a wizard to counter those barbarians and that mini P.E.K.K.A. My barbarians as well, and with 15 seconds left, things are deadlocked, and things are getting pretty intense towards the end of this battle. So lightning spell is going to end up taking care of that wizard right there. 395 health left. As we go to the end, he drops another golem, and at this point I'm saving up, trying to get enough to actually take out his tower. He is going to end up using his tombstone to stop my Hog Rider. All I need is a lightning spell to take him out. I ended up dropping my wizard right here instead of my barbarians, which was a terrible decision. He's rushing down the left-hand lane. He drops a lightning, and as soon as my lightning goes down, it actually ended up being a millisecond too late against Smurf, and he ended up pulling a 2-1 victory. I made such a terrible mistake dropping a wizard instead of those barbarians, which ended up costing me that battle. But let's go ahead and queue up into the next one that happened right after the first one. Okay, so let's go ahead and try out and see what happens. I really didn't change too much inside of my deck. Gonna go ahead and start off with a tombstone. Same thing with him. Again, his tombstone does have a level on mine, as well as most of his other cards, so the skeletons actually will be able to one-shot mine. I'm sitting on 10 elixir right now, so I want to drop something as soon as I can, and at this point I ended up deciding to drop my lightning on that tombstone, as well as the tower and the golem. Now, of course, the golem is extremely tanky. He's going to follow up with the lightning as well on those archers. I'm going to drop some barbarians to counter this golem, and this should be enough to stop his push as we try to reset towards the rest of the battle. Okay, so towers are decently even. Golems are going to do a little bit more damage than I thought, or golemites that is, and at this point sort of just resetting, and he has about a 300 hit point lead on my bottom right hand tower. Okay, so taking a look at what I have right now, we're both even at 8 elixir. I can make a push with my Hog Rider and my wizard, or set up with my barbarian hut, just depends on what he plays. He's going to play his archers, not really too worried about those, followed up by the barbarian. So at this point, just going to play my wizard to try to take out those barbarians, and I shouldn't get too much damage against my tower, at least if I can spawn this archers. Ooh, he's going to actually end up using his wizard to take out those archers right there. I am going to take a decent amount of damage, and things aren't looking too great inside of this battle. So my barbarian hut on the bottom right, it's going to start getting hit at by that wizard and that archer, and overall things are looking a little bit grim. I don't have too much damage on that top right hand tower. He's already taken out my bottom right hand tower, so at this point he's probably going to be looking to play a little bit more defensively, but no, he's going to drop his golem to try to push to end the game. A little bit suspicious of a move. Of course, his spear goblins having a level on mine, they're going to absolutely end up dominating those. I'm going to counter with the hog rider on the left, and seeing as he committed so far on the right hand side, it's actually going to get a decent amount of damage and take half of the health away from that building. So still 55 seconds left, plenty of time for me to save up some elixir for some lightning spells to try to whittle down some of these towers. He's going to drop a wizard as well, which I can counter with my own wizard. And taking a look at where we're at right now, I really need to start making a push. We're running out of time. Barbarians are going down on the left-hand side. Hog Rider's following up as well, and he drops a lightning spell, which honestly isn't going to do that much. My wizard's going to take out those archers. Looks like that tower's going to be going down, and somehow, some way, we are tied with 25 seconds left in this battle. All right, so while my troops are hammering away on his king tower, looks like he drops some barbarians to counter my push. I'm going to need a wizard, my own barbarians on the right-hand side, but he drops a golem, and at this point, it's time to play a pretty hectic amount of defense. 4 barbarians plus a golem is a little bit much to deal with, but with those tombstones right there, as well as my barbarians, I am going to be able to take them out. That wizard did a crazy amount of work in that interaction right there, and I'm actually going for the finish. I'm going to drop my hog rider as well as my own wizard right here. Looks like his wizard's going to follow up and do some decent damage to my troops inside of the back, and at this point, the king tower is much lower than that other tower, so it makes a little bit more sense for me to go down the left-hand side. He has some barbarians running. I'm going to drop a wizard to counter those guys, but I'm sort of looking to end the game because ties usually are a little bit lame. Okay, so I have barbarians going down the left-hand side. Looks like he's got a mini P.E.K.K.A. that's going to end up being distracted by that tombstone. Hog Rider is running down the lane as we speak, and even though the mini P.E.K.K.A. is left alone on that tower, only 798 health left, my lightning spell is actually not going to end up hitting that tower and hitting the barbarians instead, but still, spear goblins, one last spear will take him out for a 1-1 tie going into game 3 of this imaginary series. 2 back-to-back epic battles. I couldn't believe both of those came down to the wire like that. 1 single spear and 1 lightning bolt from that last battle. Let's go ahead and go to game number 3, the winner take all, as we take on Smurf one final time. Again, guys, this was all within the span of like 15 minutes, which was pretty funny, so I'm sure he was having a great time battling me as I was having a blast battling him. Gonna start off with a hut in the back just to see if I can whittle down his tower. Of course, he's gonna retaliate with a level 10 fireball. That's gonna do a very decent amount of damage. So as his archers make their way into lane, might take a little bit of damage, but I'm gonna make a push down the left-hand side. He drops his golem, and as soon as he drops his golem, all of my troops went down. He's gonna have an extremely hard time dealing with that, and at this point, that tower is gonna go down in an instant. 3 barbarians and a hog rider mean an instantly dead tower. He drops spear goblins on the right-hand side. I'm gonna counter with my own archers, but if you take a look at the left, that king tower is getting smacked down quickly. It's at 2000 HP. It's at 1200 HP. I still have a single barbarian left. I'm just going to drop a lightning spell. GG. And that is the end to the best of 3 against Smurf. 2 battles that took the full 3 to 4 minutes, and then you have the final one, which was just a steamroll down the left-hand side. Funny how things go sometime, but overall, a really fun set of matches against Smurf. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed these replays. It's a lot of fun playing Clash Royale, especially when you get matched up evenly like this. Of course, he did have a level on most of my cards, but it still ended up being pretty even towards the end. But yeah, that will wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you drop a like if you did. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.